With Spider-Man erasing people's memories of Peter Parker and going off on his own, that provided a lot of potential for where to take the next chapter in his adventures. With Destin Daniel Cretton taking over for John Watts on Spider-Man Brand New Day, I was curious how he would utilize Spidey as he deals with new challenges. I felt the result was a solid superhero movie, albeit one that tries to cram a lot in there. Nonetheless, there remains an interest in showing him dealing with his personal issues, which has long been the appeal of the character ever since his first Marvel Comics appearance. The film is at its best when showing Spider-Man fighting against street-level crime in New York City. With him mostly by himself, he relies a lot on his own intelligence as well as his physical capabilities, and we see quite a bit of that as he fights off against foes like Scorpion. One of the most intriguing arcs here has to do with Peter's powers changing and how he copes with that. I've always had a preference for the organic web shooters associated with Tobey Maguire's version of Spider-Man, and I like how the film shows him learning to handle this new power. And that's not the only aspect that brings to mind the Sam Raimi movies, but not in a way that feels like it's just repeating things. Then there's him still trying to navigate his friends losing their memory of Peter Parker. We see how hard this is on Peter and allows for a few nice moments with MJ and funny interactions with Ned. I also really like the use of the Punisher, with John Bernthal providing both humor as well as his occasional annoyance with Spider-Man. The idea of Peter having to fight someone who possesses multiple bodies is an inspired one, and that leads to a few creative ideas. One of the key ingredients pivotal to the Spider-Man movie is a strong, memorable villain, and Brand New Day does not really have that. The script also tries to juggle multiple storylines, and that can lead to the movie feeling overly long. The third act is especially stretched out as it hammers the main point home. There are also a few obvious plot points and revelations that can be spotted from a mile away. Cretton directs the action well enough, going for the typical stunts and computer-generated set pieces. I found the best action moments were early on, when the movie shows us what Spider-Man's been up to since the events of No Way Home. Spider-Man Brand New Day provides a satisfying super adventure that I felt it could have been tied in just a tad. The script wants to develop so many storylines, and that can result in the movie feeling a tad bloated. One character especially dominates the proceedings at a certain point, even though I was a bit more invested in other things going on in Peter's life. It is interesting seeing his powers evolve, and how he remains stuck in his friends not knowing who he is. Brand New Day primarily lays the groundwork for where to potentially take Spidey next, as well as a few other Marvel characters in this ever-expanding cinematic universe, and it entertains just enough.